Hello everybody again. As you can see, all of the tomatoes are down. And I figured now you can actually see a good portion of the chickens. There's still a whole bunch out wandering around outside, as well as the ducks. But it's all wrapped up. Everything is put away. Let's see, are all my roosters? Yeah, all my roosters are in here. That's the biggest of the roosters and the most dominant. And there's this one. That one. And I saw the other one. Oh, there he is. There he is. But everybody is in here. That's in here, and some are off other places. Actually, you can see one of the ducks out there. Ooh, grab that. Nasturtium seeds. So I'm gonna let them pick through all of this and get it all sorted out. But I've come to a decision. I have no idea why, but my peppers seem to do better in these pots than the larger size up or the smaller size. I've tried both. So I'm going to see about pulling out these and going around and collecting some more of these. And then I'll put them in here. I actually did eggplants this year, and they seem to do fine in these, but I think I'm going to try doing some in the little pots again. These are just 1 gallon pots. And I'll also try them in one size up and see if they do better or worse next year. But I'm gonna, this was my eggplants and peppers, and the peppers didn't do in this size pots at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually thinking of taping, because I want to fill up this whole entire thing with mulch. But if I pull one of these out, it will actually cause the mulch to collapse in. So I'm going to take one and use it as a placeholder. So I'm going to take these and put them into the next row forward, and then I'll put the other pots that are going to be my peppers and eggplants along here. And then these will be all peppers along the front, because they seem to really enjoy that. I tried some peppers further in the rest of the greenhouse, and they did not do well at all. So I've decided that this row is going to be cherry tomatoes. This row is going to be mostly cherry tomatoes. My heritage tomatoes seem to do a lot better out in the garden, so I'm going to put them there. I'll put some Roma tomatoes this to about here, because everything past this didn't actually do very well. So I'm actually going to pull out all of these and use this for bringing in plants and starts and things like that. And that's just going to be designated for anything that I need to get a jump on the season. And then this is going to be all cherry tomatoes, and I'm just going to actually try putting some Roma tomatoes over here and see how they do. Maybe just 1 or 2 pots, because my cherry tomatoes do very well in this row. And my Roma tomatoes did good up until about here. So cherry tomatoes pear tomatoes are going to go back out into the garden where they seem to just prefer it. And if they don't, well, oh well. I'll have lots of Roma tomatoes and cherry tomatoes, and I'll just have to wait another year and try again. But I think that'll be my plan. I'm going to do some of my starts in the pots out front, but I'm going to do it so that I can actually have an extra pot that I can just pull out the start to go out in the garden and then leave the other pot still in the ground so the mulch doesn't fall back in. And then hopefully I'll have a little bit more stable garden. As you can see, I didn't get around to mulching the whole entire greenhouse this year. I just mulched the front, which worked out because this is usually the hottest part of the greenhouse with all the shade of these tomato plants. It usually gets cooler as you go into it, but for some reason, that row, the tomatoes just don't seem to like this section, which is odd because this is usually the hottest part of the greenhouse because that's actually west facing. And by the end of the day, it gets roasting. But for whatever reason, this area, the tomatoes, they grow fine. They just don't seem to, well, actually, they don't even grow fine. Just don't work. So why beat one's head against the wall when I can put other things in here and use my greenhouse? Well, I better get going. And just wanted to point out this chicken. She is a great mother. She keeps bringing back chicks for me. Usually I get at least one batch of chicks. She goes and hatches out somewhere on the farm and then brings them all back. She's the one who actually brought me chicks back with a bear about 50 feet from her and the sheep, and I was running around collecting the chicks, and the bear was running around in the bush, and the sheep were running around me because I grabbed a bucket to put the chicks in, and they thought it was food, so they kept looking in the bucket and seeing the chicks and going, what on earth? Oh, I wish I had a video camera out at that time, but all I was thinking about was collecting the chicks and keeping an eye on that bear. Well, now I will sign off and say, talk to you guys later. Bye.